Yes. Hey, Sarah, we're live with a webinar.
Okay,
So
we're live. Cool.
yeah.
Hi,
uh,
everyone.
Hi, everybody. We see people coming in. So that's really cool to see. Um, yeah, maybe we have a chat feature that you can use. Maybe it's nice that you say where you're from, where you work, and what's your job title. So we have a little bit of an idea who is watching this webinar. So let's wait a few moments. I see people are coming in, so that's really nice. And there is a chat.
I will,
Cool.
will send it myself to start also the chat. Yeah, we're really curious to hear, guys, where you're from, where you're working. Also for the audience to know. Some email marketer, nice. Hi, Janine.
Cool to see. So yeah, I think we can start, Sarah. So let's go. Hey, maybe a short introduction from us. We are presenting this webinar. I'm Johan Koppenaal from H1 Web Development, creative consultant. Yeah, as you can see on my profile pic, I'm from the Netherlands. It's like the country of cheese, of course. And basically, what I do, I actually love to work with awesome tools like Klaviyo and how we can use it to create more value for our customers. So and Klaviyo really does this. So this is why I'm really excited to give this webinar. Yeah, and with me, of course, big support from Sarah. So Sarah, you can introduce
Hello,
yourself.
everyone. Yeah, I have to say, I wish I had also this cheese picture on the background as being French, but I'll leave you that one for now. So yeah, lovely to meet you all. I am a partnership manager in Klaviyo. I'm based in London, and basically my role consists in working with system integrators, dev agencies, marketing agencies who are referring, implementing, or managing even Klaviyo accounts for their customers. So yeah, really looking forward to start this webinar with you guys.
Yes, great. Hey, we have a little bit of a program for today, so we will note a few of those main items. So today we are going to drop a little bit more marketing or market insights, industry pressure. So one of the things is cookieless worlds, one of the hot topics at the moment. So Sarah will talk about this. That it's more and more important to have like more first-party data. And how Klaviyo can help you with this. A little bit about customer data platforms. So we have, actually an e-commerce stack, all kinds of tools around it, but how can we use this wisely? So that's something we will talk about today. Then Klaviyo as a customer data platform. We will show you some integrations, automation flows from real use cases, actually. And then, what if you're a Klaviyo customer? What kind of training courses we have, live webinar support, and of course the pricing model also important. So, I will give it to you, Sarah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with a few figures before introducing like more concrete cases with you guys. And okay, so I have to say we're gonna talk a lot about personalization today. And before we do that, it's important to go back to one important thing. What kind of data we are actually using to personalize this experience for our clients? And we're going to also see the current and coming challenges for them, okay? So to personalize the experience, and you can go back to the Google slide, perfect. So to personalize experience, there are actually two types of data that you can use, right? So you have the first party data, the data you own about your customers, and then you have the third party data, and the last one being the one used in advertising platforms. Now, I know you're all aware of it, but of course, GDPR cookies banner consent, and in the last years also like the updates of iOS 14 already impacted a lot the performance of advertising platforms. Okay, it's not the same return on investment we had just because we're not able to track as much data, so you can just not do as many things as you want, which put pressure on the first party data. Well, the bad news that is that it's not finished. Indeed, with Google depreciation of third-party cookies, it will be even more difficult to maintain advertising channels with the same return on investment we had. And especially with Google, because it represents 65% of browser activity worldwide. Okay, so we're expected to lose a lot of data for that. And well, in this reflection, developing a strong strategy with your first-party data, I mean, was already important before, but it will become even more important with this change from Google. So at this stage, the first question to ask yourself is, am I collecting emails from my customers? Do I have a strategy for first-party data? And then, of course, how can I improve also my strategy with my first-party data? That said, where your first-party data strategy needs to be by 2023, okay? Because we're going to have a big turn here. And that's a question that Matt Bush, managing director of agencies at Google, answered last summer. And you can see he's talking about the fact that the third-party cookies will be obsolete next year, and that the data infrastructure will be very important in your strategy, even more from now on, okay? And what does that mean? Well, it includes also having the right software to collect, to store, and to share your data, okay? So we're going to talk a bit more about what are today the challenges as well with the data infrastructure. So why is it important having the right software to collect, store, and activate your data is important? Well, we're going to have here a study from Gartner that shared that 2/3 of digital marketing leaders today are struggling to deliver personalized experience to their customers, okay? And that's to do as well with what tools they're using. They struggle, but only 17% of them are actually using AI and machine learning across their different functions. So not everything is connected, and it really seems that their data infrastructures and their tools are not really adapted. And the study also validates this theory. If you see on the right, you can also see the main obstacles to increase MarTech utilization. Okay, why people are not utilizing the tools to their full potential. And one of the main reasons being the lack of a strong customer data foundation, okay? Which means a software that can ingest, transform, analyze, and consume the data that you might have about your customers, okay? And that's not that easy, because we know that we're using a lot of tools usually to collect data about your customers, and you have a lot of touch points that most of the time aren't in the same place, okay? So in Klaviyo, we also believe that the root cause of all these issues that we covered is that your marketers and your tech team have to stitch together all the different solutions via custom integrations, okay? And that's in order to unify customer data and make it usable across all the marketing channels. So we do have to link everything, but it just leads to very, much more complex projects, and it's more difficult to have a really unified profile about your customers, okay? And for the little joke, I mean, this is called many different things, but we use the term of Frankenstack, okay? Because everything is with stitches, customer integrations, etc. And yeah, it's just a complex thing to realize. So we struggle to have a unified customer view today. So now we'll see how Klaviyo responds to this challenge with the CDP. So now let's spend a little more time on the Klaviyo CDP, just to explain you how this is all working. So for the definition and the Klaviyo positioning, marketing automation tool with a built-in CDP. So what does a CDP do, really? It collects and unifies first-party customer data that you might have from multiple sources, okay? And the idea is to build a complete vision of each customer. Think about any interactions with your referral program, with your loyalty program, with your customer support, with your logistic. What are the different touch points of your customers? And do you really have a unified view of all of them in one place? So that's the idea here in the middle, to have this CDP with the ingestions, which might be custom integration, but also native integrations that are also already built with Klaviyo, to gather all this data together and then to activate it through SMS, through email, through web form, through automations and flow, through segmentations, to ad network integrations, sorry. So that's all we're trying to achieve here. And now I'm going to hand it over to Johan, who is going to talk a bit more into details about all these integrations that we're very excited to tell you about.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Hey, maybe a question is like, what kind of e-commerce platform do you guys use? Maybe you can also drop that in the Slack.
Yeah.
It's also nice to know. Because Klaviyo has a connection with almost all e-commerce platforms. So as Shopper 6, Magento 2, PrestaShop, Shopify. So it's really Klaviyo is really well connected to all those e-commerce platforms. Actually, they really have this e-commerce focus. So that's, I think, very it's good to name.
Nice.
So and of course, what you can do with that, so you can track the behavior of your customers. And you also know what they do on your website. So, for example, historical order data is coming in, but also when you send an email, you see where they land, what kind of product that they view. It will be all registered in Klaviyo. So you really know what your customer up to and how you can help him. And really personalize your email messages. But like Sarah already told, it's more like a CDP. Klaviyo is more than only sending mails and just getting this data from your web shop, actually. So you can connect multiple tools to your e-commerce stack, like Zendesk, or I think here in the Netherlands, Trustpilot is one of them for your reviews, or reviews.io is also something we see regularly. What if you can bring all those useful data together? And this gives you, of course, many new ways to communicate with your customers, because you have like so many data to use. What if a shipment is too late and you want to inform your customer before he even notices? When an open support ticket in Zendesk is not solved yet, is this a good time to send an email and encourage a repeat purchase, or a personalized discount coupon to a customer that added this product review? That's all kinds of things you already but what can keep him what can come into your mind. And the cool thing what we see now is that also in the Dutch market, Klaviyo is really is growing, and that's cool to see. We are also partner of Tweakwise. That's a search and personalization tool. It's, for example, when you search or filter, it gives you like relevant search results in the blink of an eye, and you are really in control of it. So it's a really nice tool to do your personalization based on search, filtering, stuff like that. And they also are really excited to work with Klaviyo. So we actually expect there will be a tech integration with Tweakwise and Klaviyo together, so to help our customer even more and to build this stack all around all the tools, actually all the tools you have, and we unify all this data in one customer data platform as Klaviyo. What else do I want to tell about this one? That works actually two ways. So the way that you search for some search term as a customer, and you have this in Klaviyo, but also send it back. So when people click on an email, that it comes back to Tweakwise. So Tweakwise can even give you a more personalized experience for your customer, actually, in your web shop. So I think it's cool to show you some examples what you already have, and I think Zendesk is one of them. So Sarah, I'll say, the floor is yours again.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so we just wanted to give you some more concrete examples of what we can do with data from other tools when it's brought up into Klaviyo. So with the example of Zendesk, we can track two different things inside Klaviyo. We can get back the opened ticket and the resolved ticket, which are two very interesting events to get into your flows. And we wanted to highlight two examples here. So the first one of you, what you can do is actually to exclude users with open tickets from certain flows you've built or from certain campaigns. So you avoid, for instance, to send any promotional content to any prospect or client who is at the moment having an issue with an open ticket. All right. And then the second example would be, again, track proactively anyone who is having an interaction with the support team on your side. And then you can really personalize abandoned cart email. For example, if you know that someone didn't complete an order, so it didn't go until the end, but did open a ticket. So maybe it didn't pass the order because there was a specific issue with your support, and then you can bring that up inside the email and try to make the experience better to hopefully push the sale. So yeah, that's two examples. You guys, I'm sure, have much more examples in mind with each of your products, but two nice events to remember.
Yes. And then I will do this one, Sarah, the reviews.io. I already named Trustpilot, reviews.io. Actually, they do a little bit of the same. You want to encourage reviews from your customers by certain products. And we really get this question pretty often from our customers. And what you see there is not a solid way to do this. And with Klaviyo, reviews.io, and Shopware. Oh, sorry, I have a question from Rob. Will the recording be shared? Yes, this will be afterwards. So you will get an email with the recording on YouTube, actually. So that's will be done. Yeah. So what we want to do is encourage reviews for those products, and of course, I think customers are a little bit spoiled maybe. So our end customers, and yeah, they really want to get something back from it. So what we can do in this case, people that order some certain products, we can say, okay, wait 7 days, then we will send out from Klaviyo an email with a link. Hey, would you like to give us a review? And in that case, we also want to know when this customer really add his review to this product. So in that case, we know this in Klaviyo. So Shopware, let's use Shopware in this example. Shopware sends out the order and sends out the message to Klaviyo. Klaviyo knows, okay, in 7 days after the order purchase, I send an email. Do you want to give a review? Then the people gives a review. Review.io sends it back to Klaviyo. And then actually the whole circle is there. So we know this guy or this customer has sent in a review, and you can send them a personalized coupon code. So it's really personalized, this coupon code. That's also something you can connect to Klaviyo and say, okay, thank you for your review. Here's your personal coupon code. And to encourage actually those reviews. So that's something that we really like about this combination of using all those tools, actually. So that's really cool. Then something about scalability, because I think you got like lots of information at the moment, but I think Klaviyo is really scalable, and Sarah can tell us something about
it. Obviously, we're stressing a bit here into like the integrations, because it's also part of, I mean, you have a world of like 250 plus integrations that are made. So if you can connect a lot of tools already, that's really nice. But it's important to say that the tool can really like accompany you in your growth as well. And at the moment, you can see like in the middle of this graph, that's probably where most enterprise brands are actually today in terms of use of automations and marketing automations. So meaning they've used forms to capture emails, so they're pretty good at this. They are using segmentations already in their tools. They have automation built, so you have like basic automations, and you have more complex automations, of course, but anything like abandoned cart. They do have their integration with e-commerce platforms, so that's kind of like the first step, obviously, to do. And then in terms of integrated data, like the first ones that we see they do is actually integrating most of the time any like loyalty program or support, customer support platform, or even reviews. So that's kind of like the first ones. Also ads, actually, like any Facebook and Google connection would be interesting to do, and that's something that we see very often. But yeah, like you have also a world here to go a bit further and for more complex use cases as well. So it can really adapt to the size of company you are. In terms of automations, you can go a bit deeper and, for example, include like some A/B test and split inside the different forms and automations you're creating for the clients and the prospects. You can have targeted segment on site, so you're not only showing the form to everyone, but you can show it in specific places for specific people. Yeah, a lot of things basically that can make the strategy much more complex as well. So you can really go with the flow without making a joke with the word here, but yeah, it can really also evolve with the time. Yeah, so I guess now, and that's probably going to be one of the most interesting sessions for you guys, is just to see like very concrete examples of what flows, what automations we can build for customers. I'm going to share some flows that we see are used often and some best practices. And then Joanne is going to share some concrete examples of clients as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one thing. I see a question from the audience. Is the feedback company also connected? And there, you already answered this.
Yeah.
Is it already answered? Then okay, great.
I think, yeah, I've sent the link. You can always check that place because it's really like where every native integration is kind of referred. So you have like a menu where you can click on the ones you're interested in. That says we also work with an API. So there is a tool that you want to connect. That's always something that you can work out with your agency. And yeah, H1, I guess, will be able to talk you more through that.
Yeah, you definitely are. So yeah.
Lovely. So I think here we're going to start with, okay, so that's an interesting flow, basically, that will push clients to reach the VAP statue, okay? So that works for any companies that have like a specific loyalty program platform, but also if you don't, you can still have like, you can still enable like discounts or specific like free deliveries for like clients that of your choice, okay? So here we want to push people to basically do more repeat purchase. So I'm going to guide you through the construction of this block, first of all. So when you're using a flow, you have different things to consider. You have, first of all, the first block, the first gray block that you see at the top of the screen here, which is called a trigger. So that's any conditions basically where the customer is going to enter in the first block. So for example, anyone that has placed an order, that has bought something on the website, will enter this automatic flow from the first block. Then we decide to wait 1 day, you can see here in between. And then the second gray block, we put a condition. The first path, the first automation we created is to target people that have bought at least 2 times. So we want to start this flow with at least people that have already had like a first repeat purchase, okay? So if they are falling into the condition have bought at least 2 times, and it's their second purchase, they're going to get the email of the first column, which is, whoa, thank you again. So that's actually already important in terms of the personalized experience, because we're acknowledging with your customer that it's not the first time he's buying on your website. And it sounds silly, but it's actually very nice to actually come up to a brand that knows and recognize that we already know them. And then we can also, and that's the last block of the first column, update the profile property. So basically we can put a tag on this specific person and say, this person is at the first repeat stage. And that's really interesting because then you can find it back, all those people that have the same tag, and you can create segments to target them in specific campaigns or even specific flow. Now we want to go to the next stage. We want to target people that have made the fourth purchase. Okay, so that's the second column. So that's when they got into the condition no to the second order, but yes to the fourth purchase. And then they're going to receive a kind of a different email this time. They're going to receive, you will join our VIP club on your next purchase. So we really want to make sure we're capitalizing on these customers that have already brought a lot of value on our website and that are really close to reach this VIP status, which we know we're gonna make them like more loyal customers then, because they're gonna unlock a lot of advantages. So then you can tell them at this time, okay, you might have like the delivery for free, you might have specific discount, specific pre-sales, that are only open for VIP customers. And we also want to change the tag, and you can see the last block of the second column at the bottom here, update profile property, and we want to add a tag, almost VIP. So maybe we want to treat them differently as well in emails, through campaigns, or through different flows, but at least we've identified those people. By the way, if you have an integration with Facebook or Google and you are doing also advertising, you can get this list of people that are close to be the most valuable customers on your website, and you can get lookalike custom audiences on Facebook and Google. So you can make sure where the third-party cookies now are not really sure anymore, you can at least make sure to help the algorithm of Facebook and Google to find the best people for your website. And then you have the last column, which is finally when they are making their last purchase, the fifth purchase, which enable them to get to the VIP status. So you want to send them an email, okay, you've just unlocked the VIP status, and then just shared all the advantages they're going to receive. And then you change their profile properly and you tag them as VIP customers, okay? And there again, to use it in different ways through segments later on. So that's the first example. I don't know if we have any question for this one.
Maybe back.
We'll go on to the next one.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. If you have any questions, anyway, put them in and we'll stop to it. Okay, so that's a second example that is pretty nice as well in terms of browse abandonment strategy. So this one basically is to target people based on what category they have viewed on your website, okay? So you can see the first block, the person will enter this flow only if they view the products, and you can see filters below. They won't enter in this block if they have done if they add into the basket something, or if they've done a purchase. Only people that have viewed product but have not done anything yet, okay? And then we wait. You can wait 30 minutes, you can wait more. That's very easy to change this parameter. And we only want to target 2 categories here. Again, to think about your brand, but if you want to push like 2 specific categories, because that might be your highest margin categories or your best sellers, and you really want to push automation on this, that's one of the use case. So here we want to target men's shirt and men's bottoms. So anyone who has seen one or the other category will fall into 2 different paths, where if they have seen products, but they have not bought anything and they have not had anything in the cart, we're going to push them an email with specific recommendations of maybe new shirts that you have on your website, discounted products, anything basically to help them in their thoughts to try to push to the sale. Okay, so that's another example. And then the last one is the replenishment flow. So this one is very interesting as well, specifically if you are selling products with a high frequency of rebuying. So let's say, I don't know, you're selling like you have a beauty product website, you're selling face cream, and you know that people are going to buy it often. So now, the interesting thing is that you might sell a product and you might have bias about how often people are buying it. So you know that the average, repeat purchase for one face cream of 100 milliliters is maybe, I don't know, 8 weeks. People are just buying it again 8 weeks, but that's very short, maybe 3 months. And well, inside this category of customers that are buying your cream, some people would use it very fast, and some other customers will actually keep it for a really long time. So that's where it's interesting it's interesting to put the trigger expected date of order. So that's KPI that Klaviyo can follow inside the account, where it's going to calculate for each single customer based on his history of purchase when is going to be his next one happening. So anyone who is entering this flow, anytime is expected to make a next order, we can send an email a bit before just to make sure they don't forget to buy. And again, that might be silly because you know that this customer is going to come back on your website anyway, okay? But think about the lifetime value of a customer on your website for 1 year. They might bring like 3K a year on your website, but if he's purchasing every 8 weeks, or if he's purchasing every 10 weeks, well, maybe he's going to make 1 or 2 more orders during the year, which is going to increase the value of this specific customer on this year. So that's just like a better return on investment, better lifetime value, and you can almost also elevate your strategy on advertising and allow yourself to pay a bit more to acquire a new customer, increase your CPA, etc. So the idea here, and when you set up flows in general, increase engagement on your website, but also increase your lifetime value. Okay, we want to make sure you're getting the most of this. And now I'm going to hand it over to Joanne, who is going to talk about the predictive analytics.
Yes. A little bit about predict next purchase, because that's one of the metrics, or actually the triggers we can use in Klaviyo. And what we see here in this slide, we have on the right a very nice colorful bar, and what it actually says is, okay, every time when an order is registered in the web shop, also in Klaviyo, that's like the vertical black line actually that you see there. And what Klaviyo does, it actually calculates based on this information when we expect a next purchase. So, and of course, your brand must be in the attention of the customer when he's thinking about, okay, or even when he is even not thinking about it, but you help him to think about your brand. And you want to say, okay, hey, dear customer, some kind of new cool email that you send to them that encourages a new purchase, of course. And that's actually a very cool thing we can use in Klaviyo. So we can really use this as a trigger. So the trigger is the expected date of your next order. And we can of course do a filter in it when you place an order 0 times starting this flow. Then we will send an email, and that will that will give you the opportunity to alert this customer with your brand and getting like the most of the customer actually. A cool example we have, and that will be the next slide. Here's Woof, and I think one of the attendees is Woof, is the customer Woof. Is our customer Woof. They use Shopper 6, multiple sales channel actually. Annika is from Woof. Hi, Annika.
Nice.
And they sell dog food on the web shop woof.xyz. So the example here is from woof.xyz. Yeah, dogs love to eat and need food on a regular basis. Perfect to encourage a repeat purchase, of course. So, but HelloPets faced a problem with a former email service provider, MailChimp. It was like a big hassle to configure a repeat purchase flow in MailChimp for 6 different products. So even for 6 different products, it was difficult because you have to do it for each flow. Or each product actually. So you have a flow for each product. Yeah, there's lots of work, and when you want to change the flow, you need to do this over and over again. Even when you test it, when you want to do some tests with maybe time-wise, when do you send it? It's really hard to do in MailChimp. In Klaviyo, we can just do that with one flow. So for all the products, and the product is in this is like the known variable. This is a value we can take from the first order. So we have people that orders the regular chunks of Woof. And we know, okay, in 30 days, we will send them an email to encourage a repeat purchase. The cool thing is that we just really can use the data from the first order and the follow-up emails that you can send to this customer. In this case, what we see actually is like, okay, there's like a trigger created when we have the first purchase. And after 30 days, the customer receives an email that the dog should get hungry again. And in a few days from now, gets hungry again in a few days from now, and we drop an email with the product that was purchased 30 days ago. Of course, this is because we have like different types of dogs, of course. I think when you have a Jack Russell, it's a really small one, or a Bouvier, it's a really big one. A Bouvier is like the big dog, so he needs to eat more, so he needs a bag more often. And that's what I think we can optimize this flow a bit, that we can use this predicted date. So we see in 3-4 orders we can calculate the expected next order purchase, and then a week in front we can say, hey, hello, I think your dog is hungry again. It's time for a new purchase. Sorry, I have a question from the audience. What's the 50% again in this flow? You already answered it, Renee. It's the 49 value. It's actually depending. They have a free shipment when you order from 59 euros. So actually the split is, okay, it's just a different email that we say, okay, your next order with free shipment if you order it again. So that's actually a little bit what this flow does. This will be really helpful, and we are now setting this up, and we will follow up on this one with a blog post to get more about numbers and how this worked out actually. So just keep in touch and view our website from time to time. Hey, then another cool case I want to share. That's actually a case delayed orders. And we, that's actually one of the challenges we face pretty often, is that orders are delayed. And I think everybody knows when that's Black Friday, maybe PostNL has struggles with sending out the orders on time. Of course, it will be awesome if you can tell the customer in front, like, okay, your order is delayed. It's not nice to name it or to send this email, but it's better to do it on time than that customers are giving you a call and are already frustrated. What we actually had in this case, they got it was like a customer in the high season. They had like lots and lots of orders. So they had like lots of calls from customers. Oh, well, where's my order? And they were like really working with a team, I think of 3 or 4 people the whole week to get the correct information to them. This is also something that we want to solve with Klaviyo. So what we actually does, okay, when the order is placed and it's not sent in 3 days, then the customer will get an email like, okay, sorry, your email is delayed. And you can expect it in the next 3 days. What if the email, when the email is sent, and you have another 3 days? What we do then is like, okay, after 3 days, we will send another email to the customer that, okay, sorry, we still have problems with your order, but we will give you a call in the next 24 hours. And we will also send a webhook to a Slack channel to our customer department and say, okay, we really have to call this customer as soon as possible. So then it's not only, so we are not using Klaviyo here for marketing, but just for customer service. And I think you can really get your customer service to the next level in this case. I see lots of stuff happening, but I think also Sarah is already reacting. So I think that's good.
Yes, but it doesn't work if you want to show the products in your email. So not sure specifically which kind of email you'd like to set up in that case, but you would have blocks of emails that you can pull like automatic products based on, you have 3 options, I believe, the products that you've viewed, the categories that you've purchased before, and a third one. But you can definitely push some recommendations automatically as well.
Okay. Maybe Michelle, we can also follow up on you on this one if you have like more specific questions. We were happy to discuss and help you out with it. There was also a question over Renee. If products are on back order during an order, possible to send out an email where you mention those products and apologize for the delay. Let me see. Send out an email where you mention those products. I don't think I can answer this one directly.
Yeah, we'll get back to you, René, because it's an interesting question, but I'd like to send you a bit more info and resources for this one. But yeah, you can definitely set up some flows. Like, yeah, when you had like issue with delays, as Johan mentioned before, with like integrations, if you have like, depends the tools you're using as well. It depends the integrations you have. So you have different options, but we'll come back to you with the details.
Yeah, it's a hot topic also for us. So it's cool to see the interaction here. Okay, hey, cool. That were actually the examples we have at this moment. Then we want to talk a little bit more about what's next. So when you're a customer Klaviyo, what does Klaviyo offer you, like a help desk, all kinds of stuff. So Sarah, you can tell something about the live webinars, because I think that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So just wanted to share to you guys that I would definitely 100% recommend you to join the customer education page. So that's like really a place where a dedicated team is actually creating a lot of content for anyone who is trying to also set up their Klaviyo by their own. I mean, you might have some time to also manage it yourself, or you want maybe to work with an agency. So you have really both options. But here, if you want to deep dive into it a bit more, you can do it in that place. You have all the webinars that will be coming up in the next few weeks. And you also have some great webinars that have been posted before. And I just wanted to give credits here for Gemma and Mai, who are the 2 persons responsible for all this really cool content that has been put together for the EMEA market.
Cool. Yeah, I can tell something about support, because Klaviyo is like, they really have like a nice help center where you can find out like lots of step-by-step examples and guides. Also an academy to follow courses, certify yourself. That's also good, I think, for your employees who are working with you on the marketing, that they can follow trainings, mostly videos actually, really helpful. And also get some strategic guidance over there. Well, like Sarah already said, there's like live training every week, and also added by seasonal trainings before, for example, they can give you some nice inspiring tips about Black Friday, stuff like that. So that's also cool to see. What we also see is like there's a big community. So it's Klaviyo, but it's also all the tech partners that are involved. And I know Molly is already enthusiastic. Tweakwise we already spoke about. So there's lots of stuff happening there. So that's also nice. Yeah, and then there's like email chat support. So you're always, you will be available to send emails when you have questions, and they are like really happy to help you. Yeah, and of course, we as a Klaviyo partner can help you out with all the possibilities. If you get stuck, or if you're just a merchant and you want to know, I want to do my business and I need help with it, we are always happy to help, of course. Hey, and I think the last slide, almost the last slide, is more the pricing model, of course, also important.
Yeah,
what
I
will
just
it cost?
wanted to go back also quickly on Linda's question, because it's interesting. Just again, like the delayed order, and there's gonna be, so just have in mind, there's gonna be different options for you to set up different automations based on the like delayed order. So if you have, as Michelle was saying, integrated with some specific service carrier or parcel, you will be able to track specific events from it that you will be able to use inside the flows. Now there is also something you can do inside Klaviyo. So basically anyone who's placed an order and you expected this order, I don't know, to arrive in the next 5 days, well, you can build a flow, then include wait 5 days, and then add another conditional split with has this order been fulfilled? And if it was not fulfilled, then you can create, again, condition yes or no. And if the fulfillment it's 0 times since the person has bought the last 5 days, then you can send an email for apologies, for example. So again, that's one example out of like different ones that you can put in place, but just to bear in mind that even if you don't have a specific tool that you will be using, you can also tweak some things inside Klaviyo. Hope that helps. Okay, and then in terms of the pricing, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but basically, guys, we've included a link through the simulator of pricing for Klaviyo. So I will also add it in the chat just right here. So basically 2 things to remember: the number of active profiles that you have in your database at the moment, and then the number of messages % per month. So if you're using the simulator for price, you will see all the different details for each pricing plan, and that's most of the time a monthly plan as well. So here again, if you have any question, don't hesitate to reach out to me or directly to H1. We'll be happy to help you with this.
Okay, cool. Hey, then a little bit about the demo, actually. Yeah, of course, we would like to give you a demo. Klaviyo and I are happy to help you with that. That you can just dive to it, into it even more. And what I really like also on Klaviyo is that we can always set up, for example, a connection, and then you can see your data already coming in, and really see how it works. So you can already create a few of those flows, and yeah, you really see what is happening, and then you get like more of a feeling. And before you decide to to take a subscription for Klaviyo, so I think that's also something good that we have to name. Yeah, and then the last slide, actually, I think we really want to thank you all for your time. And I hope you all enjoyed the webinar and that you have get a little bit of an idea what Klaviyo is, and that's more than just sending emails and stuff like that. This webinar will be shared, so we will drop it on YouTube, and we will send you an email afterward with all the links that we also shared in this presentation, so you can sit back, relax a little bit, and see it again on on your timeline. Hey, and of course, H1 is always happy to help you with your Klaviyo setup. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, and we try to help you as soon as possible, actually. You can send me an email to Johan at h1.nl, but we will also send you an email for that with all those instructions. So, any questions?
Well, just probably go back to Renee with the question you've asked earlier directly. But yeah, thanks guys for all your questions. That's actually really nice to see. Like just different ideas brought up in the chat. And that was lovely to have you in the webinar. We're freeing you a bit earlier than supposed to, so enjoy your meal if you're about to eat, and talk to you very soon.
Yes. Okay. Hey, bye-bye.